Live from Lincoln, this is Channel 8 Eyewitness News Late Edition.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Laura Wilson. We begin tonight with breaking news out of Gage County. A car accident has killed 4 people near Highway 77. Authorities tell us it happened just south of Beatrice around 7 p.m. tonight. Now, along with 4 confirmed fatalities, another person has been flown by medical helicopter to Bryan Trauma Center West. We do have a reporter on scene who will be joining us here in a few minutes. But for now, we take you to our other top story of the night. The Husker heartbreak has officially turned into heartache as Nebraska suffers another close loss today. Peter Terpstra joins us now with all the highlights from Memorial Stadium. Pete?
Another close loss is right. We had another early bird battle between 2 NUs of the West, Nebraska and Northwestern. This one always seems to be really close, come down to the very end. The 1995 national championship team was honored today. 20-year reunion in Nebraska wearing their alternate uniforms, so all sorts of ways to get excited. First quarter, first Husker drive. Drew Brown would connect on a 43-yard field goal. Nebraska on the board, 3-0. Now the very next Northwestern drive, boy, this was a killer. Clayton Thorson stepping up in the pocket, takes off, 68 yards. He doesn't quite find the end zone, but he gets down to the 2-yard line. He would sneak it in 3 plays later, 7-3 Wildcats ahead. Northwestern backed up after a Sam Foltz punt, and Thorson's going to be sacked by 2 Nebraska boys. Ross DeZuris, the walk-on, and Jack Anguish, the former walk-on in the end zone. Safety, now 7-5 Northwestern after 1 quarter. In the second, Tommy Armstrong pressured, and Rutrow, oh boy, can't make that decision. Going to be picked off by Nick Van Hoos, who's going to go 72 yards, doesn't run out of gas. Pick 6. Northwestern up 14-5. That one was hard to watch. Tommy would bounce back though. Marches the Huskers down the field, hits Brandon Riley from 10 yards out. Huskers cut the lead to 2, 14-12. Northwestern with about a minute left on the clock in the second quarter. Thorson scrambling those eggs, 49 yards. The Wildcats tacked on 3 more to take a 17-12 lead in the locker room at halftime. Let's go to the third quarter. Legendary coach Tom Osborne recognized at halftime. Third quarter, first drive for the Big Red. Armstrong, option keeper, touchdown, too easy. Nebraska takes the lead, 19-17. Northwestern took the lead right back with the field goal, 20-19, and the Huskers took the lead right back in the fourth quarter with another field goal. Drew Brown, that one puts him in front, 22-20. Back and forth game. Here comes more Northwestern. Clayton Thorson, his everything man, Dan Vitale for the 37-yard touchdown. The Wildcats take the lead back again, 27-22. Wildcats attack on a field goal. Huskers down by 8. Tommy Armstrong finishing an 8-play, 75-yard drive with the touchdown. So they're down 30-28. What do? You go for 2. Tommy Armstrong going through his progression, looks over the middle, and it's incomplete. Pass intended for Stanley Morgan Jr. So the Huskers are still down 30-28. Northwestern gets the ball back with just more than 4 minutes to go, and they would not give it back. On 3rd and 3, a 28-yard gain. The Wildcats would continue to move the chains and burn out the clock. That'll do it. The Huskers fall today 30-28. 5 lead changes in this one. Nebraska 1-3 in Big Ten play. They are now 3-5 on the season, which means they have to win 3 out of their last 4 games just to make a bowl. A 3-game win streak over the Wildcats comes to an end. Channel 8's Brett Edwards takes it from here.
Yet another close loss for the Huskers. Nebraska blows a fourth quarter lead to Northwestern, make it 5 losses this season by a combined 13 points. Last week, after taking a step forward against Minnesota, the Huskers took a step back this week.
Really disappointing game for us. All those things that we wanted, talked about that we thought were making some strides in some ways. Like balance, run-pass ratio, all that stuff didn't look too good today.
You know, you got to have the right attitude. You know, sometimes it's not going as well as we want it to go. But, you know, we just got to make sure we keep grinding. You know, we can either give up or we can just keep grinding this season out and keep working together. because at the end of the day, you know, we got seniors on this team that this is their last year, and we don't want to give up on them just like they're not giving up on us.
Football is a crazy game, a lot of ups and downs. It's kind of a roller coaster ride, and you know, we're on it right now in full force, but we'll be okay. We have great coaches here, you know, we have a great team, great players, and they know what's important, and they're mature guys. We're all mature. You know, we'll be okay. We'll stay together. We'll keep this thing going. We'll stay positive. We'll get back and have a great week of practice and get ready for Purdue.
At 3-5, Nebraska must finish the regular season 3-1 just to become bowl eligible. Next week, Nebraska travels to West Lafayette to take on 1-6 Purdue. Reporting from Memorial Stadium, Brett Edwards, Channel 8 Eyewitness News, Sports.
Thank you, Brett. That one team that Purdue has beaten this entire season, Indiana State. That's going to do for sports.
Now, Channel 8 Eyewitness News, Sports.
That is the total number of points the Huskers have lost by this season, but the only number that really matters is 5. Today, the Huskers had a ridiculous edge in time of possession against Northwestern, having the ball for nearly 20 more minutes than the Wildcats. Northwestern cashed in on the big play. Wildcat quarterback Clayton Thorson had 2 scrambles totaling 117 yards. That is a huge portion of their rushing numbers.
Except for that quarterback run. Now I'm throwing a but in there, but that quarterback run, the defense played a lot of good ball early on in the ball game. I thought really good.
You always prepare for that reality in any heavy pass rush game. So yeah, we prepared for that, and you know, he's a good athlete, and he made things hard for us.
It's kind of a hard thing to practice. You never know what's the quarterback thinking, and you know, you try to just rush it and, you know, keep a good lane so that he can't get out and escape like that. But you know, sometimes, you know, just that athletic ability, he just kind of makes plays, and you know, you kind of have to make up for it.
Numbers are fun. Let's break them down. Your team stats from today. The Huskers held to their lowest rushing total of the season. 82 yards on 38 attempts. We'll have more on that coming up on Sunday. Nebraska threw the ball almost 50 times for 291 yards. Some more team stats. Only 1 turnover in this one, and boy, it was costly. 72-yard pick 6 out of the hands of Tommy Armstrong. Time of possession, as mentioned earlier, grossly in the hands of the Huskers. Some top individual performers for Nebraska today. Tommy's passing numbers: threw the ball 48 times, completed 24, 291 yards, 1 touchdown. He did have 2 rushing touchdowns as well. Jordan Westerkamp, 5 catches, 92 yards, and Brandon Riley, the Lincoln native, 4 catches for 83 yards and a score. Northwestern's top performers: Clayton Thorson, 13 of 28, had 126 rushing yards. That is too much. Wide receiver Dan Vitale, 5 receptions, a touchdown with more than 50 yards on the day, and running back Justin Jackson didn't rack up a ton of rushing yards, but had more than 50 through the air. Here is your Big Red Play of the Game, Week 8, brought to you by KC Toyota. Down by 4 in the first quarter, and the Black Shirts come up big. 2 Nebraska boys, Ross DeZuris and Jack Gingrich, combine for the safety. Cool beans, bro. That brought the Huskers within 2 points. Still coming up in sports, Husker volleyball was in danger of doing something tonight it hasn't done since 2003, and it is not positive. Highlights next. Welcome back. You hear volleyball coach John Cook say it all the time. There is no easy weekend in the Big Ten, and it's not just coach speak. It's true. Just ask his team. They took their 3rd loss of the season to number 9 Minnesota on Friday, and tonight they got to turn around and play back-to-back and play number 16 Wisconsin. First set, Cecilia Hall showing the defense, gets the block, ties the set at 2. Later in the first, Kelsey Feen hammering one home. Wisconsin up 1, though, in the game. Here come the Huskers. The freshman phenom, Michaela Fecky, team-high 15 kills for her. That was part of a 7-0 run and put Nebraska up 18-13 in the set. Still in the first, Katie Rolfson, touch kill on the line. Huskers take set 1, 25-22. More from Katie. She had 13, set tied early. Wisconsin, though, would rally and win the next 3. The Huskers lose back-to-back conference games for the first time at home. since 2003. The Huskers fall in 4. Big Ten football for you now. Indiana at number 7, Michigan State. First quarter, Connor Cook going to air it out to McGarrett Kings and keep the chains moving. That led to this. Delton Williams, 1-yard touchdown plunge. Sparty takes the lead 14-7. Now in the second, Indiana getting a little offense working. Nate Sudfield to Ricky Jones for the Indiana touchdown. Sparty, though, pulls away late, goes on to win 52-26. Wisconsin visiting Illinois. Late first quarter scoreless. Joel Stabby is going to be sacked hard, and his helmet hits the turf. He would leave the game with a head injury and would not return, but his replacement, his name's Bart Houston, airing it out, being a hero. Every back upstream. That gave Wisconsin the 7-3 lead. Wisconsin goes on to win 24-13. Ohio State and Rutgers. This one just finished up right here on Lincoln's own ABC. JT Barrett getting the start for the Buckeyes at quarterback, and he's going to toss to Michael Thomas, who's going to work some magic on the outside and find the end zone. This one wasn't close. Ohio State wins 49-7. A top 25 matchup in the GPAC. Number 6, Doane, visiting number 23, Concordia. First quarter, Brandon Stewart, quarterback for the Tigers. Looking like a touchdown to Jacob Cornelius. Looked good, but the referee says no. He was right there. Drive would stall. Tigers have to settle for a field goal from the 7-yard line. Jordan Peterson's kick is true. 2 chains. Doane goes up 3-0. This one went to overtime, folks. And the Tigers get the win, 23-20. They are still undefeated on the year, 7-0. The NSAA released their high school football playoff brackets today. In Class A, Lincoln Northeast and Lincoln North Star make the playoffs, the last 2 seeds in. In Class B, Aurora locked up the number 1 seed, finishing up their undefeated season last night, beating York. York, with 1 loss, comes in at the number 6 seed. Pius at 10, Beatrice and Waverly also making the cut. You can view all of these playoff brackets on our website, klkntv.com.
Left side, Moustakis. Royals win the pennant.
Just like that, the Royals going back to the World Series for the 2nd year in a row. Kansas City beat Toronto 4-3 in another crazy game Friday night to clinch the ALCS, winning in 6 games. Toronto tied the game up in the 7th, and the Royals rallied after a rain delay to pull out the win. Here's former Husker Alex Gordon with Joel Goldberg.
I don't want to say this is the craziest game ever because I don't know if the wild card will ever be topped, but it's got to be up there, wasn't it?
It was up there. A lot of emotions in the 7th inning and later, just with the rain delay and all that kind of stuff. But it's kind of games we play, it seems like, the last couple of years. So wouldn't expect anything less from the Royals.
It's the first time a Nebraska and a Wisconsin guy have...
I wanted to drop a Wisconsin in there, but you beat me this year, so maybe next year.
Whatever. As long as you guys win, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
In college football news, USC beat previously unbeaten Utah today. Florida State lost to Georgia Tech on a blocked field goal returned for a touchdown as time expires. That's going to do it for sports.